Hey everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup 8. Welcome to the lower bracket, boys. This is not an upper bracket game, but that's alright. We're going to cast the first games played of the Jaraci Cup 8 bracket. And it's going to be between SpeedrunnerG55 and Cabel. Speedrunner actually didn't manage to get any of his games in the group stage here, but he is here for the bracket. Happy to see that. Going to be playing as the Coalition Forces. He did have the pick first. No, he had the pick second. So Cabel picks Galzian, SpeedrunnerG55 picks Coalition. GVC, gonna be fun to watch. I can't remember what faction Cabel was playing before, but I think he was playing Galzian, right? At any rate, that is gonna be the pick this time. Hey, Romper Frolic is in town. Nice to see you. Speedrunner gonna ban College Teeth, and Cabel bans Canyon Outpost. Cabel gonna pick Firebase Krill for this first map, and it looks like he's gonna be going for some kind of a rush here. It might even be Rail Rush. I would love to see that, because I love Rail Rush, you know how that is. Doing the build a little bit differently than I would have. Possible also then that he's going for Assault Chips instead, but we'll just have to see. Did get that Sandscammer tech pretty early here. As for Speedrunner G55, he's building a couple salvagers off of his onto his main base here. Not using the eco rally point is a tad awkward, but that is okay. And he probably is going for oh yeah, he already has LEV fab, right? So he's gonna go for a little bit of LEV spam then. So we'll probably see him get that carry production upgrade in just a moment here. Cabel moving out across the field still doesn't have his tech yet, but he's got 117 RUs here, so if he wants to, he can start making the choice already to go for Soul Chips, or he can wait to save up a little bit more for Rail Fab. But Soul Chips, of course, noticeably cheaper on the RUs there, so... That's why, like, normally if you're gonna go for a Rail Rush, you put two guys onto RUs at the start. He's gonna perform a little quick drop there, get the money for Soul Chip Fab. He's got a couple idols here, but that's okay, we'll probably catch that in just a moment. Well, every second it becomes a bit less okay. A little bit of a tip here for anyone who's new to the quick dropping. If you hit F3, it'll pick up an idle salvager, so you can catch that a little bit faster that way. Taking a little bit of a trade here. He's not doing too badly. He doesn't lose any sand skimmers there. Doesn't get any kills though. Uh-oh, he still hasn't caught this. This is starting to become a bit of an issue. Yeah, every time that you quick drop, I just like spam F3 to see if there's anyone idle. And if there's only one, hitting it more than once will take you to him as well, which is kind of nice. Otherwise, you can just use F3F to get there fast, because F will, you know, focus on the guys you're selecting. Actually, we can see what's going on though, because look, there's only like a 2 up here. This is another thing you can look at. This will tell you how many miners you have. But this is starting to become a serious problem for Cabel. He really needs to get those guys back on mining, but he's going to take a very nice trade right here. Speedrunner going to jump in with the LAVs here, but yeah, this is not a good trade at all. The reason is because he doesn't have the numbers advantage, and Cabel also was able to be given a bit of high ground there off the start as well. He hasn't lost a single sand skimmer yet. Oh no. Yikes. Managed to, he took 2 of them down to that low, but he didn't manage to kill a single sand skimmer. And this is an odd logistics module as well, not really going to do too much. I think at this point Speedrunner might want to save up for a turret, because he's definitely going to get pushed here. It's true, yeah, F1 is the carrier, F2 is the whole army, F3 is the salvagers, F4 is the PCs, so... I don't think it does anything for Coalition, but it might select all of your, sport cruisers, but I guess I've never tried. Bit of an awkward pause right here as Cabel and Speedrunner are sort of eyeing each other down. I really hope he notices after a bit that these guys are right. Okay, yeah, he's just caught it. Okay, that's a long time to not be mining, but his opponent is stuck on one base here for sure, so this is not bad for Cabel at least. I mean, it definitely would have been better if he'd been mining this whole time, right? But he's not about to lose the game or something like that. He does have his first assault chip on the queue as well. Which means that this production upgrade is not going to be too scary, and AAVs are not going to hold him off either. So he can stay here still for quite some time. Probably wants to get the armored unit upgrade at some point, though. Just because, obviously, armored units don't do terribly well against AAVs until you get the upgrade, so... Wants to kill this logistics module as well. Again, not exactly sure why they're being deployed aggressively like this. Obviously, these things are rather expensive. They do give you, vision, but you really want to be careful not to lose logistics modules as Coalition in the early game. That can actually hurt you a lot more than you think. We don't usually mention this in casts because most of the time, players don't put them in vulnerable positions, but, yeah, you definitely do want to be watching out for that. Assault chips are here now. There's 2 up there on the high ground. He does get armor 1. Excellent move there by Cabel. Assault ships on high ground really going to chunk LAVs, especially when that have that armor upgrade. They're going to be very difficult to kill here. If these guys were alone, maybe the LAVs could jump on them, but like that'd be risky. With these sand skimmers in tow ready to trade in, yeah, there's no way he takes this trade. So very good for Cabel. He's got exactly what he needs here. Now for Speedrunner though, I suggested putting a turret down at first just to kind of like stabilize a little bit. The next thing he wants to do is get a support cruiser and then get like this carrier moving out and pushing things out on its own. Have that turret back at home to defend. Try and dislodge your opponent here. But because you can't really just sit here forever. Cabel is going to be long distance mining. And that also means his transition to eco will be stronger than yours, so you have to watch out for that too. So you do have to eventually push off the hold here. Assault ships, meanwhile, able to take a very good trade on this LAV. It's a bit of a questionable engage here. Yeah, Speedrunner going to lose all of those. Armor 1 teching then, looking a little bit silly. You probably should cancel this, because you don't have any left, obviously. And the sand skimmers here want to try and get behind, it looks like. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, though, because there could be a turret. There isn't in this case, but you might just get these guys trapped here. Especially like an AV could pop out as well. So we do have rail tech done for Speedrunner, which means he could, if he wanted to, build a couple rails to deal with the assault ships that are up in his face here. Base runner actually gonna get killed here, maybe, and that would be really big for Cabel, because obviously that means no turrets. Assault ship's gonna kind of push in a little bit, though. Again, no rails are produced here, so actually now this is starting to look a little bit risky. We do have the turret finally dropping here, then. Okay, so Cabel is gonna have a turret to deal with, but if he pushes right now, he may be able to catch it. There's no SC here. Turret's on high ground, though. It's gonna do really nice damage here. It does manage to kill one assault ship, two assault ships. This last guy will probably get back over the hill and be fine, but he does get a salvager kill for his troubles. Oh, he gets a lot, actually. He killed 4 of them. Well, I take it back. That's definitely worth it if you can get 4 salvager kills like that. Although, put it into context, that's as many workers as Cabel had when he had the 4 guys idle, but... still, though, this is very good for Cabel. Armored Unit Defenses 2 coming out, so he's going to be able to tank that carrier just a little bit better. At this point, he can go for a second PC, or he can go for rail tech, and I would actually just go for rail tech. Flip the long distance miners onto RUs, and then go for rail tech fast as you can, and just try and finish the game out right here. Sandskimmer's gonna go in for a bit of a questionable trade, trying to push down that turret, but the carrier did move, so he is gonna be able to get it here. He'll catch the base runner as well, so that means no more turrets in the future. Logistics module going to fall as well. He should be able to catch another salvager. Yeah, he's actually going to focus them instead. Bit of carrier blocking going on here, but he is still doing the damage. It looks like Cabel really just all up on top of his opponent here. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's getting... So this is something that happens to Gaussian units. If they're next to a carrier, they can't shoot. That's what I mean when I say carrier blocking, by the way. I've talked about this in cast before, but I'm never sure if people know these terms. Happens on, like, wreck bulkheads as well. They'll get wreck blocked. So, Gaussian units just can't shoot at all if they're getting forced, like, to rotate like that. So what you want to do then is, like, move them over here and then give them, like, a hold ground command, but, gonna be A-okay. Refinery mode taking out from Cabel now. About 45 seconds out here. He obviously can continue to harass this eco. Yeah, carrier block affects coalition units when the carrier's moving as well, but it also affects Gaussian units even if it's not, so just anytime that they're next to him. But yeah, Cabel gonna keep up the pressure here and just keep wiping the eco. That's obviously what he wants to do. These are pretty narrow margins for Speedrunner. He really doesn't have anything left, so ref mode is not a bad choice. But he could even just go for Railgun Fab and just end the game right here, but he doesn't have to do that, of course. Second PC is out, moving off to the expansion there. He could even, you know, really win my love by going for missile ships and just, like, destroying him with barrages. That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, Speedrunner left on his lonesome here, just the coalition carrier left. I don't expect that this will be a win for him. I guess I can put it that way. Yeah, not many more hopeless situations that you can be in. So we may even just speed this up just a little bit because it may take a bit of time for this to resolve. Actually, oh yeah, look at this triple base runner. That's nice. He can bring the PC back to the main base and then just drive this carrier out into the midfield. Carrier can obviously kill his opponent's carrier because Speedrunner, I don't think he's got any money left. Yeah, he's actually at 0. Oh no, he built 2 salvagers, but he like can't build a depth pack. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but Speedrunner can't really get eco back here. Like if Cabel wants to, he can easily finish him off. So this carrier could just come over here and kill it. There's no power reserves for Speedrunner. I do like the dedication though. He's sticking into it. He doesn't want to give up just yet. Yeah, power reserves are teching alright. He does have rail fab also. Armored unit's gonna come in here and clean up that salvager. Gets the 3 extracts. And that should be pretty easy cleanup, all things considered, for Cabel here. Gonna power up that Gaussian carrier, get in there fast as you can. He's actually got a PC on the front line too, so he's gonna build heavy rails off of the front line, which is pretty cool. At this point, Speedrunner actually still has money for a salvager, but he wouldn't be able to open a wreck, so his options for getting eco back are pretty low. And yeah, Cabel will just kind of hunt him down with these railguns. Actually, he doesn't have vision right now. That's a little funny. He could power up the range system just a tad and get vision there, but... Well, it looks like the rails don't have line of sight anymore either. This carrier just narrowly managing to hide behind the dune there. I love that. But yeah, Cabel will be able to clean this up. And he manages to take game 1. And how did he do this, by the way? He really just used like a very meta build. And, he wasn't like perfect execution, but like one thing I really love about watching Cabel is that even though he's new to the game, he already is using builds that are just kind of solidly proven, you know what I mean? That's really fun to see. Obviously, Assault Ship Contain, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Stop your opponent from getting up onto 2 base. And then you can just sort of build up on the back line, and eventually you will be able to beat your opponent, so. Second map here, going to be Gaussian Territories, picked by Speedrunner. This map is an interesting one. It's good for Rail Rush. It's good for any kind of early aggro, I'd say, that can include base runner extraction, because the extracts are not very far apart from each other, and they're not far at all from the extraction zone. But if it goes into the late game, it can still be a very interesting game, because there's sort of like a natural pull toward this high ground up on the top side, but that's away from the extraction zone, so kind of a fun map. I'd love to see Cabel go for a Rail Rush on this one, but he may go for ref mode instead. Yeah, looks like he will, so he's filled out the salvager line, keeps the space runner alive, and we'll probably see ref mode out of Cabel here. If he goes for skimmer fab, this could still be a Rail Rush with like extract pressure on the back of it, but that's not very common. Yeah, it doesn't look like he will. So he can quick drop right now, I think, to get ref modes. His timing could be just a little bit faster, but that is going to be okay. He does do a quick drop actually for it. I love it when new players quick drop, because that's like the sign of like you're really tryharding. And I don't know, I've got a soft spot for the tryhards of the world, so very fun to see that. Hey, it's Sick IGN. I saw your DM, by the way. I'll get back to that in a moment after I'm done with the cast here. Ref mode on the way now for Cabel. So it is indeed ref mode first. We do have LAV fab done for... The game is dead. I want to sweat grind it. I love it. But yeah, we do have Sandskimmer fab on the way now for Cabel, so he's not playing this greedy. We do have LAV fab done for Speedrunner, but I'm not sure what he's going for here. He's stacking up a lot of resources, but not really building anything. He doesn't even have RU miners. Wait a minute. This is something kind of different. I've never seen this before. Base runner, meanwhile, is going to head down to the extraction zone now. A little bit risky for Cabel. Oh, and he builds a second one too, actually. Wow. Yeah, a little bit risky for Cabel here, as he could lose them to LAVs, but he's checking the carrier. He doesn't see any units. He's like, well, I mean, I can do what I want, I guess. There could have been a couple LAVs out on the field, but there's not, so he's going to get away with this. And, oh my gosh, he's actually just going to drive the carrier straight up to his opponent's face here. So he's basically saying, like, look, you haven't built anything. I'm just going to kill you. He's kind of right, isn't he? I don't know what Speedrunner exactly can do about this. We do have Sandskimmers coming out as well. Could maybe afford to get a couple of LAVs if he has, like, the money for it. But Yeah, this is gonna be pretty rough, actually. I think he's gonna pull this off, because, like, Speedrunner is just kind of chilling here. He hasn't really done much of anything. He drops the logistics module first, yeah. I don't know what this is. This is some kind of next level mind games, maybe, but... we have that second extraction picked up, third one about to be followed as well. Fleet Cap 45 coming out of Cabel so you can get a couple more Sandscammers out on the field, but I would love to see some resource harvesters, you know, just long distance mining off the second. It is going to be a support cruiser then for Speedrunner. But Cabel going for power 1, he has the triple extract pressure coming out here, and I don't know if Speedrunner can stop any of these with those LAVs, so... well, he has time, that's for sure, but the question is, like, is the carrier going to be on his face already? It might just not matter. Doesn't have any vision of this either. He's going to catch it in just a moment when that carrier shows up on the scanner. This is pretty early for a Galzian carrier to show up in your face. This is 3.5 minutes into the game. Boom, Galzian carrier. And, like, what is Speedrunner going to do, really? SC comes out here. Turret going to get set down. Not going to be terribly valuable, though, this turret. Because it'll damage the carrier a little bit, but... should get cleared out in just a moment here. Actually, Cable's gonna lose some Sandscammers to this turret though, so that's actually not bad for Speedrunner. What he needs to do, like paramount here, is to stop this extraction from getting out. If that extraction gets out, it's even worse for him. This is already not a good situation, but he may be able to swing it if he can stop these extracts, but it doesn't look like he's going down there. I think it's too late at this point anyway. Carrier's up with one support cruiser, but that should be a win for Cabel here. Power 2 is on the way also. Curiously, I think the priority for Cabel is to go for the salvagers here. And yeah, Rampa, you're right. I mean, the thing is, he didn't even just do this and get away with it because his opponent happened to not go for the right thing. He saw it because he had a scanner here. So, I mean, this is actually rather impressive, I've got to say. I still would prefer that he takes out the RU salvagers here, and if he's on top of his opponent, he might as well power up the weapons a bit further. Yes, it is. That's the word I would describe this with. Railfab is going to be done in a moment, but if Cabel plays this right, that won't be a big issue. He can actually just kill the railguns right as they come out, so they won't really be able to contribute a whole lot of DPS. He should power down speed and put it in weapons, but... oh, actually, yeah, he should put it in weapons all the way, because I forget, because he's got this one over, he can stick everything into there. I'd say when you're in a carrier fight like this, your priorities are basically kind of as follows, right? You want to max into weapons, then max into healing or armor if you're Coalition. Then max into range if you're Galzian, or healing if you're Coalition. Because obviously you can heal the support cruisers that you're probably going to be building. And then you can put it into the others. Well, you'd never have power to put into the other system, really, would you? So that's kind of the setup for like an optimal carrier fight. Actually, looks like he's going to deal with the railguns using the Sandscammers. I say fair play. You can do that. Sandscammer armor upgrade is actually going to come out here. This is pretty interesting. I don't know, maybe a bit of a waste of money though, because he could have used those RUs to get power 3, which is probably more valuable for him. Oh, look at this! He's even going to bring base runners up to the front line to do heal. Wow, that's so cool. That's really tryhard. That's awesome. $5-5-2-1. You can. Okay, cool. So yeah, if it comes down literally to just carrier versus carrier, you want to put it all in weapons first, and then whatever's left over, you put in healing. Whatever's left over from that, you put it in range. But at any rate, he is going to get the kill here, so I mean, that was really a well-played game from him. Like, he didn't just get away with this because his opponent happened to do the wrong thing, he got away with it because he knew his opponent did the wrong thing. He had that scanner out, so... yeah, fair play. He managed to just bully him out of game 2. It was very nicely done. And really, again, like, does Cabel look like a new player? That's something that I think most people really couldn't do when they're new to this game, so... I'm impressed, man. Looks like game 3 gonna be the Boneyard. I'm just gonna make up the last picks, just because, like, we don't have them, so... Anyway, Cabel gonna be putting 2 on RUs this time. He has another salvager coming out from his carrier and the PC. Yep, so it looks like this is going to be rough mode again. But he does retire the base runner. There's a little bit of a difference there. I mean, you never know. He may actually go for... Oh, wait, what am I talking about? This is actually how you do a rail rush. Having done that build so many times, I should know this by now. Yep, Sandscammer Feb does get queued up. So this is going to be a rail rush from Cabel. I don't know how I managed to get that wrong. I've done this build so many freaking times. LEV Fab coming out from Speedrunner first this time. The question is he actually going to build him this time? Because that's what he didn't do last time that I'd really like to see. But definitely he should build a couple salvagers during this downtime here to, you know, get a couple of RU guys set up. And yeah, Sick, I noticed that your username changed from SickIGN to Starflight. It's like, oh, he must have 2 accounts. When were these played? Like 15 minutes ago, man. Boom. 4 accounts. Hey, can you sub to me on all of them? I need that money. Yeah, these are pretty much the freshest that replays get, you know what I mean? Speedrunner is filling out the salvager line this time, so that's definitely what he wants to be doing. And then if you got LEV tech, you definitely want to be building them, so he'll want to be starting to build a couple of... Wait, you put in the Steam code and it like reinstalled DOK? That's kind of funny. I never know exactly how Steam is gonna work. Hopefully the code does actually work to get Hard Space Shipbreakers for you, but we'll have to find out. Oh look, it's SickIGN's other account. Anyway, problem for Speedrunner here is that he hasn't actually built any salvagers. Oh shoot, you mean you think that maybe like the Steam codes were for the wrong game? Ooh. That'd be troubling. Actually, Marchwadden was telling me a similar thing happened to him, so you might be right. Well, I'll have to look into it then. I'll ask Tina to verify that they were for the right game. And if not, I guess everybody gets like free DOK as well. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. Because you can't really... Well, I think maybe you can actually revoke a Steam key, but I don't know. We'll have to find out what happens. It'll be worth watching. Yeah, maybe hold off on that for just a moment. We'll see what Tina says, because they may end up like reverting the Steam keys then if they need to change them, but we'll find out. Anyway, Railtech is done for Cabel here. Now he's not gonna run up to he's not gonna run up against LAV Fab with like the production upgrade. So he knows then that he ought to just go for rails here, not more skims and like a second PC. That is gonna be the right play. Now AV Fab is on the way for Speedrunner. And that's gonna finish in a moment here. It's tricky though, like the AAVs can do something to the rush, but not much. It's gonna be a little hard for Speedrunner to stop those AAVs from just dying to assault rails. And by the way, J-Swin signed up for salvage. But I guess that's actually just SickIGN. Cool. Always nice to get another follower. Base Runner actually gonna get focused by these skims. Now, why does he feel like he can do this, Cabel? Well, because there's nothing there, right? Like, if there were LEVs to trade, he might feel a bit, you know, nervous about, like, losing, skims to, like, kill this base runner, but there's nothing here, so he kills the salvager there. He's got the assault rails out, so these AV's not gonna be able to do too much. And yeah, this is looking pretty textbook here. This is a very comfortable rail rush. I'd say for Cabel, I would even start just building heavy rails at this point and try and get, Wait, really? Oh my gosh. I didn't know that, SickIGN. That's really cool. Do you go by SickIGN or do you go by Starflight? I never know which one to use. Anyway, look at this. He does have a heavy rail on the queue. Nice. And then I would get second PC here. Okay. I'll call you Sick. Hasta. Definitely, though, second PC, good option here for Cabel. Because the thing is, if your opponent goes for the production upgrade, eventually he'll outspam you with LAV, so... yeah, Speedrunner just gonna continue building AVs here, but he really shouldn't. You want to get that second PC set up so that if your opponent does end up having, if they do end up having like a bunch of LAVs come at you, you'll be ready to deal with it, so. Fighter and Gunship, though, actually gonna be the choice of Speedrunner. This is another reason why the second PC is quite handy. Once you have that 2PC combo set up, your opponent really can't beat you with the fighters, right? Because, you know, 2PC just does too much anti-air for that. More ALMs. Well, LAMs, oh my gosh. I mean, that would be pretty impressive, seeing as he's playing his coalition. But, you know what I would say about it, Maze. Don't be a backslider now. Oh no, ALMs and sick IGN's joke patch are gonna be stupid now, aren't they? Oh no. Senskimmer's diving on this LAB, by the way. Or, other way around. He's trying to get the railguns killed, but he's not gonna be able to do it. I mean, at this point it's kind of a desperado scenario. The only problem for Cabel is that railguns always try to target fire things that they shouldn't be, like salvagers and whatever. I always have hated that, but they can't quite seem to fix it, so... That's whatever, though. Yeah, look at this. They're gonna, like, reset and start shooting at salvagers. Oh, it's so cringe. Really? Oh, shoot. Well, what you can do, Sick, is just like, find the weapon, like, attributes for the Galzian carrier and just, like, copy-paste from Jaraci over it, because then, you know, you'll guarantee to fix that problem, right? Production upgrade coming out from Speedrunner, by the way, but similar to Game 1, he is going to stick on to the bitter end here, so he's actually driving out. Doesn't want to give up just yet, I suppose. Dart maneuver actually coming out on these assault rails, that's kind of cool, but... Oh, okay, if you don't have that many, it's not too bad. There is a strike fighter out, but once that thing launches, I guess, you know, Cabel will just kind of bring the PC up with the assault rails. He won't be suffering too much for this. Here comes that strike fighter now. Wah! I'd like to see you click on it that fast. You start flinging these missiles at him. Bit of awkward maneuvering there. It's actually not going to shoot here. Huh. That was a little weird. I wonder why it did that. Oh well, it's really academic though. It doesn't have the DPS to kill any but like one of these, or like damage per salvo actually. I mean, or not salvo, sortie, because it only carries, you know, 4 missile packs. Can't miss if you don't shoot, right? But yeah, there were enough rails to clean up the carrier anyway, so that is going to be the end of SpeedrunnerG55. And Cabel taking a very comfortable 3-0 lead here. That is going to be the series for him, and he will move on to the the semifinals actually of the lower bracket. So very nicely done then by Cabel. I've got to say, these were not bad games at all. Sure, his opponent kind of just rolled over and let him have it, but like, he did good builds and he made this work. So I'm really happy with this. Nicely done, Cabel. That's all we've got to cast today, so I'll see you guys next time. But I'm excited for this Jaraci Cup 8 bracket. And I'll be watching Cabel's progress in the lower bracket too, because if he makes it to the finals, getting those seeding points, you know? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.